The way he desecrated Arlington National Cemetery would be career-ending for a normal politician. His constant lies. But even this piece about saying, well, my building was the tallest until, they brought down the World Trade Center. Now it's the second tall. I mean, everything he does is despicable.
The reason why it doesn't end his career is because his supporters are just as despicable. He's probably the least compassionate president we've had in 200 years since Andrew Jackson. And it works for him because his supporters are just as ungenerous and have just as little compassion and empathy for others. So when he is seen out there, essentially, as you guys have put it, desecrating our national symbols, when he is seen out there putting himself above all else, his supporters also want that to be the case. They want to do that in their own lives. That's how they think of themselves.
That echoes the divisive rhetoric from other prominent Democrats who have villainized Trump voters and turned to name-calling, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just days ago.
There are people who will never be, shall we say, inclined to support Democrats because they just have a different orientation toward women, people of color, LGBTQ. They just are not ever going to be there. So say that's about like 30% or something like that. And then of the Republicans.
The idea there's no such thing as climate change. I love that, man. I love some of my Neanderthal friends who still think there's no climate change.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
She's never going to live that one down, is she? All right. Joining me now, former Nassau County Executive Laura Curran and criminal defense attorney Katie Cherkasky. Lots to get in there. When it devolves to name-calling of a candidate, as we said at the beginning, okay, I get it. Like, that's kind of the mudslinging that you have come, sadly, to expect from politics. But, Katie, when you're getting to actually insulting, I don't know, half the country, that doesn't seem like a good strategic tactic.
Well, at the very least, I think you lose your right to call yourself a party of unity if you're going to go with personal insults. And the hypocrisy and irony is so lost on all of these people. A lot of people claim to be affiliated with the left because it's a caring, compassionate party. And yet here we are listening to this sort of rhetoric. So it is kind of hilarious in a sad way.
Yeah, Laura, I mean, how do you respond to that? Or I will say even defend that, because we know the Democrats say, come on, we're a party of unity. We're all inclusive. We accept everybody, unless you disagree with us.
This is never a winning strategy, to insult half of the population. And this is such a tight race. There's maybe, however many percentage of people who are swingable at this point. And I think you see the campaign itself not doing this, really tacked, this is the Kamala Harris campaign, really tacked to the center. She says she's a gun owner. She's talking about needing a lethal fighting force, like all of these very sort of middle of the road things that people would really relate to and maybe persuade them. And I've got to think, if I'm on the campaign and I'm seeing this person, who I don't actually know who he is, saying this on national television, I would be frustrated and angry, because that does not seem to be the message of the campaign. But it does point to that horrible thing that Hillary Clinton said about the basket of deplorables. And I have friends who are Republican who were maybe thinking of voting for her until she said that. And at that moment, that was a moment of clarity. Don't do that.
It's like the Howard Dean scream. It kind of ended things perhaps for her. But I know you're about to say something. Go ahead, Katie.
It's just the idea that the idea of diversity, except for diversity of opinion, is what is furthered by all of this. So it shuts down any sort of conversation, and certainly turns off a lot of people that just have a different opinion but don't want to be called a name because of that.
And what we need are people talking to each other more on the right and the left, Republicans and Democrats.
With respect.
Yeah, we can disagree
right?
and still be friendly about it.
And here you are.
Yeah.
But you mentioned, I mean, listen, polling is very, very close. This is a tight race.
Yeah.
And you pointed out that the Harris campaign, and Katie, I want to get your thoughts on this too, they're saying, no, they're moving to the middle, all of these things. But even as Bernie Sanders said, we played that clip here a lot on the network, he was saying, yeah, well, she's kind of doing the flip-flop stuff simply to get elected.
Oy.
I saw the eye roll there, so I'm going to have to let you comment on that.
It's painful. Why? Don't say that. Like, just let her do her thing. See, if you really want her to win, see how many people she can persuade. And, we are always hopeful that people deliver on their campaign promises, that they don't then change their stripes. But, I mean, again, that's another thing where if you're on the campaign, you're like, oy vey, why did you say that?